Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson, and we are going to continue our studies. We are talking about word problems. Note, work problems involve situations such as two people working together to paint a house. You are usually told how long each person takes to paint a similarly sized house, and you're asked how long will it take the two of them to paint the house when they work together. So here's the format and formula you should know. Person number one is a 1 over person number one plus 1 over person number two is equal to 1 over person number three. Sometimes one person works alone, so 1 over person number one who's working alone, that's equal to 1 over the total minus 1 over person number two. So in general, 1 over A over B plus 1 over B equals 1 over the total. So if you memorize that, you'll have no problem with this topic. So let's go to a problem. So Johnny takes 7 hours to paint a room. It takes Leslie 10 hours to do the same thing. How long will it take if they work together? So let's go back for a quick second. Look at our formula. They're working together. So person number one and person number two are working together. So let's get that. Grab that. Group it. And let us copy it. Bring it over. So let's paste that there so we can have it fresh in our mind. So person number one is Johnny, and he takes 7 hours to paint a room. So let's highlight that. Johnny does 7 hours, so he'll be person number one. So 1 over the hours that he takes, plus the person number two is Leslie. She takes 10 hours to do the same thing. So she takes 10 hours, so plus 1 over 10, and that's going to equal to 1 over the total, because they're working together. Well, we don't know the total, so we'll put an X here. And so now we need to solve for X. Well, a couple ways you can do it. I like to do a little algebra by clearing the decimal, the denominator, I mean. So here we have to find the LCD, which will be multiplying 7 times 10 times X. So the LCD would be 7 times 10 times X. That will equal to 70X. So if we multiply by 70X, all terms, let me fix that up a little bit. Okay, let's make that 70X and multiply this by 70X. All right, 70 times 1 will 70X times 1 will give you 70X over 7 plus 70X times 1 will give you again 70X over 10. And that's equal to 1 times 70X will give you 70X over X. So now we can simplify. So let's simplify. Let's go down a little bit. We have 70. We have 70 divided by 7. That'll give us 10. And don't forget the X. Plus 10 divided into 70. That'll give us 7. Don't forget the X. And here we have 70. X divided by X. And the X's will cancel out right here, leaving us with just a 70. So we have to combine these like terms. That'll give us 17x, and that equals 70. Now if we divide by 17, both sides, and here's where a calculator would come in handy. So I know my 17s cancel out. Actually be, let me get my calculator. So bear with me a second. And let's move this over here. 70 divided by 17 equals, we got a lot of numbers because it didn't divide out evenly. So that would be our answer. X is equal to all of that. So it says round the answer to the nearest hundredth. So we're not finished yet. So we want to round to the nearest hundredth. So let's look at the nearest hundredth. So let's see, that'll be, let's write that down. We only need about 3 places, so 4.117. The hundredth place is right here at the last one, and we go right next to it and see if that's 5 or more. If it is, we add 1 to this, and it is 5 or more, so we get rid of this, add 1 to it. That'll become a 2. Let me just scroll down a little bit. That'll become a 2. 1.4. So x will be equal to 4.12 hours. And that is our answer rounded off to the nearest whole. If they work together, it'll take them 4.12 hours. Good job. So I hope you enjoyed that question. Watch it again if you need to see your steps. All right, here's one for you. They're working together. See how long it'll take them. Check your understanding. If you are in good shape, great. If you're not, write down your questions, bring them in tomorrow. Watch the video again if you need to. Okay, Jacob can cut a tree in 12 hours. If Latrell helps, it takes them 11 hours. Without help, how long will it take Latrell to finish this job? Okay, well, so Latrell looks like he's going to work by himself. So let me see about the formula. Because when we had the formula, they worked together. This time, one person is going to be doing it by themselves. So this was the problem where we had one person doing it by themselves. Let's group that and copy that formula and bring that down there to Latrell. Okay, so let's paste that in. So here's our formula we'll be using to help us out. So Jacob's not going to help him. So how long will it take Latrell? Well, if we look at it, Jacob plus Latrell is the total. Latrell is going to equal to the total minus Jacob, but we're using this formula. Remember, it's 1 over that person. So let's look at Latrell, what he's equal to. So Latrell, they don't say how long it takes him. It says it takes them 11 hours. So that 11 would be our total. So them would be our total. So we'd have 1 over 11. That's the total. Minus. And the person number 2 would be Jacob, because we know what he can do. We know he can cut in 12 hours. So Jacob would be 1 over 12. Latrell is the one we don't know. So poor Latrell has to work on his own. So we'll call him X. So now we have to figure out how much is x. So let's get a calculator and do some subtracting of fractions here. Alright, let's clear that. 1/11, 1 ABC button, 11th minus 1 fraction button. Alright, sorry about the phone. Alright, so put the 12 there, and let's enter. So we get 1/32. So that equals 1/32. So 1/x, 1/x equals 1/32. Now, do this a little bit of the old-fashioned way I learned with proportions. I can cross multiply and solve for x. Or I could multiply both sides by the LCD, but 1 times x equals 1 times 132. 1 times x is x, 1 times 132 is 132. So how long will it take him to finish the job? 132 hours. Woo boy, it's a long time. So that's what Latrell will do by himself, 132 hours. So check out what we did in using the second formula. So sometimes you have to use the second formula. Okay, here's one about without help. So poor Paula is going to complete the job herself. So good luck, Paula. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Let me know if I could be of assistance to you. Write down your questions, and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and write us at robinsonmath@aol.com, and I'll be glad to send you a handout about this information. See you next time. Bye-bye.